Hey all, welcome to the channel. Apologies for the slightly dodgy camera handle, but I've just gone and broken my tripod. Never mind, that's something else you've got to prepare for the unexpected. Anyhow, so the topic of today's video: how to get started being a prepper on a budget. Now for me, the first thing I went and purchased was a bag. Because to have a bug out bag, you need a bag. Simple as. Now, you haven't got to have something that's got thousands of pockets, loads of loops that you can hang things off and all that kind of goodness. All you just need is just a basic bag. Simple, small rucksack. Perfect. Couple of big compartments, couple of small compartments with easy access from the outside that you can sling over your shoulder or over your back, carry some decent weight. Now, these can range from anything from £10-15 to really, really cheap, nasty ones to maybe £25-30. And all you need to do is put in what you think you need for your bug out bag. You've got to remember that prepping is specific to you. Nobody else. There's no one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter solution. Everybody's situation is completely unique and different. Myself, I know that whatever I put in my bug-out bag, I can use for 72 hours at a push. Now, you might think, well, I can only use my bag for 24 hours because of what I've got to put in my bag. But again, everything is down to you and what you decide. Now, my personal situation is I live relatively close to where I work and also where I intend to get to as a first stage bug out location. I have several bug out locations, all at different miles radius from my home location. Now, these bug out locations all have varying degrees of resources that can be used by myself, my partner, and anybody else that's with me at the time when we bug out. Now, another video later on will be an additional bug out bag surplus kit, i.e. additional things I would carry if I had a method of transport to get to a bug out location which was further than what I actually anticipate in travelling. That brings me on to the next subject, which is having a method of getting to your bug out locations. Now, some people, it may be you can reach them on foot. It may be a case if you may reach them by bicycle, motorcycle. You may have vehicles, cars at your disposal. However, you've got to make sure that these vehicles are fully fueled, because if everything stops working, you want to be able to make sure you can get out of Dodge. Now, obviously, older vehicles, diesel or petrol, are more preferable for preppers to use because of the very nature of their construction. Less electronics in a vehicle means less problems to go wrong if they are subject to an EMP or electromagnetic pulse. Now, obviously, push bikes, no electrical parts, fantastic. The electric assisted vehicles obviously contain microcircuitry. Now, obviously, they could be subject to damage from an EMP, overheating, failure, etc. Whereas a normal push bike, mechanical, perfect. Okay, yeah, you've still got the possibility you may get a puncture, but again, if you've got a good bug out kit, you'll know that if you're going by bike, you've got a spare puncture repair kit, inner tubes, etc. with you. That should be part of your kit. Now, myself, I've got a couple of vehicles at my disposal, and as I've said, I've got various bug out locations at different ranges that would require different methods of transport to each of those locations. But again, your situation is down to you, your personal circumstances, and the amount of kit or gear that you're going to be taking with you. What may come in handy for yourself is, as I've said in a previous video, get yourself a notebook and a pen, pencil, whatever. Make lists of equipment that you want, equipment that you're going to purchase. Tick them off once you've purchased them, once you've got them, and just make a note of where you've put them before you put them into your bug out bags or whatever boxes or anything that you're going to load into vehicles, etc., so that you know where everything is. Some people use whiteboards in their bug out storeroom, etc., which they also use for keeping running lists of their stock, home supplies, anything that they may need for bug out situations or bug in situations as well. Anyhow, went slightly off topic there. However, as I was saying, bugging in or out and preparedness is all down to yourself, your personal circumstances. Now, for me, myself, as I say, notebook and pen, first of all, make lists. Purchased a bag, created my bug out bag. After that, I made lists of what I needed if I'm going to stay bugged in, or if I'm going to bug out, what I need at various locations, so that there are multiple redundancies should anything happen to any of these other locations, either overrun, lost due to some sort of disaster or event. And this is why it's good to have multiple backups of various different items. In addition to the original bug out bag, a hold-all for keeping in the car, your emergency kit for your car, should you be effectively caught short out in the wilds. You know, you're at work, something happens, you need to get home. You may lose your main bug out bag. There may be something that happens where your main bug out bag, there may be something that happens where you can't get to it. Your car may go up in flames, you may lose it entirely. However, if you've got a spare bag, a hold-all with, say, multiple redundancies in there, duplicates of kit, etc., that would be something that I would personally do. Now, again, in these bags, obviously you will have various bits of kit, and there are multiple videos on YouTube on multiple prepper channels that go into what you should or shouldn't have inside your bug out bag. But again, I'm going to say it, prepping's a personal thing to you. What goes in your bag is what's specific to yourself. Now, moving on from bags, what I would say is the most important thing after a fully stocked bug out bag is go back to your lists. Now, with your lists, obviously, you know on what additional items you want to get for yourself to aid you in your journey into preparedness. Now, another member of the UK Prepper Network, Brian, is a very good authority on power banks, backup power supplies, and solar power, etc. Seek out people who kind of specialize in the sort of things that interest you, i.e. backup power, water purification, bushcrafting skills, how to erect tarpaulin shelters, etc., outdoors cooking, all that sort of thing. Financial budgeting as well. That is a very good form of preparedness, because if your finances are all in order, you're going to know what you can spend on your prepping journey to secure the items that you want. Myself, this is what I do. I have a budget that I use to purchase items that I feel I need or require for my for my prepping journey. And if I can't afford 1 month to purchase a certain item, then I will roll that money over into next month's budget until I can afford those what I call big ticket items. Now, these can be the big power banks that, for example, cost a few hundred to a few £1,000, if that is something that you generally think that you would like to purchase. Myself, I have a few smaller power banks, some of the pocket size power banks that are the size of a standard mobile phone. Some of them have LED displays, some of them just have a bank of LED lights to display the charge, etc. on them. But always make sure that you've got at least some sort of method where you can back up, that you can power up your phone if communications are still available. Small power banks are ideal, the sort that are the size of a mobile phone, because this way you can keep your mobile phone charged up, and if networks are available, you can still stay in contact with family, other members of your mutual assistance group or MAG, and be informed, so you can get information from your mutual assistance group or MAG. Also, if the government is pushing out emergency service information, you will receive it via your phone. So, one last thing just to finish off this video now, and that is, what are you going to do next? What's next on your list to purchase? Have you started your preparing journey? Is it something you've just been thinking about, or do you think it's a load of hoo-ha? Me, personally, I think, why aren't you a prepper? Everybody preps. You probably don't even realise it. House insurance? It's a form of prepping. Health insurance? Again, form of prepping. Do you let the fuel in your car run out, or do you keep it topped up all the time? You might be a prepper and not even know it. So let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of purchases you think you would put in your bug out bags, or that you might have as part of your preparedness plan. Drop a comment below. Say, let me know. Share your ideas, because other people will read these comments as well, and it may give them some ideas as well to add to their lists, etc., on their prepping journeys. So that's it. If you like what you've heard tonight on this video, I know it's been a bit of a ramble, but I do have difficulty in making these kind of videos, so I will just put that out there straight away. If you feel like you've learned something, or you might want to see anything from me again, then please feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified next time if I put another video out. Okay? Thanks very much for watching. Take care and stay prepared.